Hello, nature lovers. I'm Colonel Failure, and you're back with Transport Fever Mainline. When I left you last time, we were looking at this tree. I've decided to spice things up here by looking at the same tree from the other angle. And as you can see, there's some action going on over there, which is just tremendous. Now, we spent the entire of the last episode building a new cross-country line, which we got as far... Well, hold on. Let's go from the origin here. Did I really go from New York? Yeah, I did. Okay, well, we came out of New York because I feel that it's an underserved city, by and large, and then proceeded to hit Arkham before sprinting off towards Caprica City. We got all of that done. There's quite a lot of it, and I shared some thrilling anecdotes with you along the way. But we've got to do the last leg of this route to get it in motion before we turn our attention to the next piece of spiritual endeavour. Stick around, and we'll spiritually endeavour together. So here we are at Caprica. It's got the magnificent art station, and it is art and magnificent. And we're going to be coming out here on these two lines, which is either 7 and 8 or 1 and 2. I don't know. But we're going to come out over here and then somehow. Not bulldoze the entire city, get over the other side, and then swing across the lake, the river, maintaining enough height for the shipping to get underneath before heading up to Pleasant View, and we'll swing into Pleasant View over here on this turnabout station. In fact, we're going to start there. Given that the AI is doing a little bit of development here at the moment, we'll start from there. Now, we already run turning services out of, it looks like, platform, I'm going to say 1. Yeah, it is 1, platform 1. So we'll work off platform 2 here. We'll leave platform 1 as a terminating platform, and we'll go for number 2. This should be relatively straightforward, or it shouldn't be as much faff as last time was. I asked you in the comments which train I should run down here. We're going to aim for something pretty speedy, and I think the one that really leapt out at me, because I've never really used it that much, is we'll go with the ICE. There was a good strong thrust for the Acela. But firstly, it's vanilla. Secondly, it never really makes much money. Now, I'm not anticipating that the ICE is going to make an awful lot of cash either, given how expensive it is to run. But it is getting a long route to play with, so you never know. You never know your luck. Now, I could take this along the goods line, but I'm not going to. Are you going to justify that at all? I'm not going to, because that would be stupid. Getting the highest speed train that you're running caught up behind endless goods trains is not a sensible course of action. So no, that's not happening. Right, we need some points in here somewhere. How close to the station do you want to get? Well, let's go from about here. Let's just avoid the housing that we've got going on, and. Can we get over the top of that bridge? Oh, we can. Lovely. And I'm already quite liking this station exit that we've got going on. It's quite good. I mean, we've got a tunnel going under them. We tunnel ourselves and all of that kind of business. Now, part of what I'm hoping to do eventually, I mean, everything happens eventually, but part of what I'm intending is to go back and actually do some sprucing up of some areas, of getting some decoration in and making them look a little bit more lively. I'm quite liking this embankment. Now, typically you wouldn't ride that long on an embankment. You would instead, you'd have a gully to go through, because it would shield you somewhat from the elements. Is that a concern? It really isn't, but I feel it's worth mentioning. Right, okay, so we got our connection there. That was a piece of cake. I dropped out at the end of the last episode. Thank you, because I thought it was going to take a while. I mean, this is obviously where I'm going to make my money is on not doing this. Now there's a potential to kind of junction off there. And I know that's not going to work, but I could make it work before we hang over the river. But chance the river crossing is the first thing I ought to attend to, given that it is not going to play easy. We've got to get shipping underneath it, and we do have to get over the line that exists already, and that line is operating at a reasonable height, as you can see. I would be tempted to go underneath it were it not for the fact that I've then got to turn into a bridge, and we don't really want something like that, do we? No, we don't. So let's try. Let's see what sort of height we need to do to get over there. All right, let's just lay that in. Unclip. Do you? Oh, okay, yeah, that's no, not quite high enough. Needs to be one taller, which means that this is going to turn into something of a fairly ludicrous height. If we get close to that. So we're looking at that in terms of structure height. The question is then, obviously, you know, what bridge design do you really like the looks of this time? We've been leaning quite heavily on the elevated station viaduct lately because it looks great. That's a good looker. We haven't used red girders. I mean, I know they're default, but we haven't used them in a little while. I could always go to the workshop and get something ostentatious, but I'm not going to. I've done that before, and it's. I mean, as much as it's lovely, it is also, you know, it's a lot of effort for admittedly quite a glamorous return. What do we think of that? It's a little bit oldie worldy, given that this is very clearly a new build. Because if it weren't a new build, the old stuff wouldn't be underneath it now, would it? No, it wouldn't. This concrete edifice is not doing it for me. I go through this every time. Why don't you just pick something and settle it? You know, I miss the days of the wooden trellis. Don't worry, we'll be back there soon enough. I think there's maybe 20 or so episodes left in this series, and then you can go and play with some steam trains again. Oh, all right then. Right, what else we got here? In fact, I mean, I mentioned playing with steam trains not because I'm particularly a steam aficionado or anything like that. I'm not an aficionado of anything, but more because it's the variety. Once you hit the late game, you've got nothing but the most modern of everything to play with, and you kind of find yourself going, "Oh, I miss the days where you were running 86 different varieties of everything, and it was all lovely." Right, okay, given the height, we're going to go with the red trestle, just purely because it makes some kind of engineering sense. Crossing over here, of course, makes absolutely no kind of engineering sense. Well, that's just brilliant, isn't it? In which case, we're going to have to execute a relatively tight turn here. I think the way to go would be to sort of follow this curve that we've got going there before heading out over the top, because the challenge is keeping the speed appropriate. The good news, however, is I don't need to be quite as high. So if we head out from about here, yeah, you see, I don't even need to be that high, and that's it's quite spectacular. But no, we don't need to be that high. You can come down a little bit further. Let's try 2 and see what that looks like. Now, you've created some earthworks there, but the existing track doesn't seem to be too fussed about it. Although, is it just me, or does that look like it's bending? It shouldn't do. Why are you stopped? Why? I asked the question a second time. Why are you stopped there? That's interesting. I'm not saying, because you'd see a train, right? Surely there would be a train here somewhere, and I'm not seeing one. You'd just stop for the sake of it. You were bursting for the loo, so you parked up and made a run for it. Right. Anyway, I'll concentrate on the matter at hand. It does look like it's bending, doesn't it? And I don't think that's because let's try. Whoa, steady on. I don't think that's because of the because it is bending. I think that might just be because of the because we've got a slope coming down there. Because that's obviously that's clearly flat, but it definitely looks like there is some kind of a bend going on there. But never mind. We'll press on regardless. Right, let's get over the next one. There you go. That's all good. And then if we get our angle of attack to be as bang on as possible. Right, we'll take that. How much space have you left over the other end? Quite a bit. You could possibly do this lower still. You think? Well, you could possibly do it lower still. I'm not suggesting that you do, because you've got it working. And it's not so egregiously tall as to make it horribly implausible. I mean, you occasionally build a horribly implausible bridge, but today's not one of those times. Today you've gone for somewhat plausible. Right, okay, good. That's nice. We'll then run this out to here, like that. We could probably do our descent a little bit earlier. What if we do that? Yeah, I mean, it's a nice smooth descent it's got going on there. But in all honesty, I don't really want to bridge for that long. Cost is not an issue. It's more a case of aesthetics at this point. Right, okay, let's keep the speed up here. Now, I don't think we're going to be hitting 300. I've yet to encounter a train that really wants to push its top speed that quickly. Now, obviously, you can edit your train setup to give them completely ridiculous acceleration speed, but I leave all of that well alone. All I need them to do is do their job. It's like the TGV, for example. You can't get that up to top speed for love nor money. I mean, you get close, but then you have to run, a very, very long way across the map in order to even get close. Is anyone complaining about this connection? Nobody in the world is complaining about that collection. They're not. So we'll just leave it alone. All right, Magnifico. All right, so just the easy bit to do. I think this could work. This could work. Now I might need to actually delete some of this, and this is going to prove to be fatal, I'm sure, because we're going to need an angle of attack to actually get us in the direction of the station itself. So that's okay. 143 is probably about as low as I want to go. So let's give that a spin. We might need to relay this again, so I'll just leave that alone for the moment. Let's get out of city and see what we can get. In fact, let's as the crow flies this. Well, you say as the crow flies if it was flying around in a bit of a curve. 140, but that's right near the station approach. So that's fine. And then up to 190 odd. Yeah, that's okay. It's then going to slow down for the corner, but there's no way to really avoid that. I mean, I'd have to come in at a much shallower angle, at which point you've then got a swan neck to conduct here, and I've already got a partial swan neck going on. So all right, that's what we're going to do. Now then, here comes the tricky bit of actually getting out in the first place. Now this big bit of road here, I'm not that fussed about it. So that's not going to make the cut. Sorry about that, but it's not. Buildings, obviously, their lives are forfeit because they always are. Now I had a lot of fun fighting getting pillars aligned last time round, and so I enjoyed it so much I'm going to do it again. Right, okay, what are you colliding with? Are you colliding with this bit of road? I'd love to keep this bit of road intact. I'd love to, absolutely love to keep that intact. I think it's going to fight me though. Now maybe there's a skinnier pillar I can use. See, that's a skinnier pillar. Where's it? Is it colliding right there? Let's pull it back and have a look. If I can get away with not removing anything. That said, we could move this way by, 2 meters and and everything would be dandy. If we just get rid of it, yeah, I know there was some collateral damage in there, but that was the likelihood they made it without collateral damage was pretty slim. One building will be removed. That is an acceptable loss. We're going to try and run along the side of this hill rather than go through it. Still going to want to go around a little bit more. Just a little bit more. There you go. Something like that would be fine. Right, and then we'll run the parallel one in there, and we'll see about threading that road back through. We're going to have to do something with this, but to be honest, it's that ugly that that's no real loss. But I hear you cry. What are you going to do about this one? Well, I did think about that temporarily, like 45 seconds ago, and where would I send it is the question. And the only places you could really send it to are Pleasant View or Atlantis, or you're doing a really ridiculous loop round. So I think what I'll do is I'll treat these as terminating tracks here, not least of all because it allows me to put that little bit of road back in, and set off in the other direction where there are numerous possibilities that we could send a passenger line or 3 to. So that's the aim on that front. Now then, before I mercifully, I think you've got that the wrong way around. Before I mercilessly remove this piece of road, let's see which lines are using it. Good news, everybody. Nobody's using it. I may delete without regret, and have done so every time I get the opportunity. There we go. Do a bit of that. Little bit of tunnel. But I like a little bit of tunnel, as do we all. Epic length tunnels, bit boring. But just a little bit of tunnel there is absolutely. I mean, that's very sporty indeed. This chap's going like, I'm not so certain about anything. It gets a bit of extra bridge action going on in there. I quite like it, even though you would just you'd either link it up properly or the other thing. I don't know what I'm talking about. What were you saying? Yeah, you'd either properly build an embankment for it here, or you would bridge that last bit of gap. Is my assertion. Right, now then, getting down there is going to be challenging. However, and this will come as little surprise to many of you, all of these lives are forfeit in order to make a compelling connection here. Yeah, I'm doing it now. Yeah, I am. Yeah, it's happening now. I'm not going to do it in a minute because I'll forget, so I'm doing it now when I won't forget. You did have the electrolytical tram track going on there, so let's just see what happens if we try and do this au naturel. I don't think au naturel is going to work, but we'll give it a go. Narrow angle, yeah, too much slope, terrain alignment, collision. You've got the works going on there. That's au naturel is a non-starter. Yeah, and I definitely don't want to have some kind of wonky angled level crossing, because the one thing it won't be is flipping level. Now then, as a plan B, however, I could quite happily gank all of that lot, because it's not built in a way that's going to lend it to further expansion. But if we were to do, I don't know, that, nope, you're going to need to do a bit more. That, yeah, and then you were to use some kind of bridge design that doesn't upset people, so you stay away from the green stuff because you're the only person that likes the green stuff. Nobody else likes it, it's just you. How about that? That's quite fun. Okay, yeah, alright, try that. I mean, that's going to link up to the top without putting up too much of a fight. Right? The trick is going to be getting it down to the bottom. And the bottom in question being there. And I don't think, even if you were to get rid of this bit of road, I don't think you can get to there in that length of time. So I think you're going to need to do some kind of bending, corkscrewing lunacy to get down to the bottom. But bending, corkscrewing lunacy is kind of my middle name. Or it's among. It's among the middle names that I profess to possess. There you go, keep going. I quite enjoy where this is going. Yeah. Yeah, can we get down as far as there? We can. It's not pretty. I mean, it doesn't look too bad until you get to here, and then you kind of go like, I'd love to see the torque on the tram to get up there. I mean, it's going to be slipping like you wouldn't believe. Wheels spinning. It's going to be, sticking out a beach worth of sand to try and get anywhere at all. So now if we run, whoa, what was that all about? Whatever it was about, it wasn't right. Try that again. There you go. And then we'll curve round and we'll make this a gentle incline rather than some kind of brusque Tony Hawk-esque slope. And we'll keep the embankment there. We won't tunnel. I might have gone too low there, Have we gone too low? No, you've gone about as low as you. Maybe just a smidge lower than you needed. That's all right. Okay, yeah, that's let's say 72% pleasing. We'll leave it as is and see what the AI makes of it. If I were to run some kind of tram route out here, that might be quite pleasant. Meanwhile, I will do a quick upgrade there, just in case there is some idiot in a tram who wants to go down. Don't tell me there's too much slope, because there genuinely is not too much slope on that bit of road, and you're only causing trouble for yourself, because what's going to happen next is that, right? Because when I've got money in the bank, what do you mean that there is not too? Oh, it's the slope here. Oh, that's a drag. Well, I'll tell you something. It doesn't need that bit to raise up at all. So if we get rid of that as well, and then we can sink it just a little bit. Yeah, I know town remodelling wasn't really on the menu for today, but pretty much any time I'm taking train track near a town, you can be fairly certain that town remodelling is going to happen. Right, how are we doing here? Yeah, if you keep this on the flat, you're gonna dig a bit of land out, but that shouldn't come as any kind of a surprise. It's nothing new. And then just whiz it round the corner. Just whiz it. There you go. Yeah. See, you're getting the idea. We've got electric track. Oh, it's done it. It doesn't even need me to tick it. It's just kind of gone. All right, I got you. And then we do what we were going to do and do a bit of that, like so. And then everything is glorious. People will move back in. It'll be like I was never here, apart from all of the changes. And then I want to try and get my little bit of road back in. It doesn't serve a purpose, no, but I liked it. And I suspect some of you may have done as well. Why? Hold on. Did I use country road there? Don't answer that. I already know the answer. The answer is yes, you used country road, you pillock. Alright, okay. Well, I'll go back and rectify that in a moment. No tram track for this one. Just go all the way down there. Snap onto that. Don't complain about bridges or anything else. Just get it in. There you go. Beautiful. The sign of much gang violence and the dealing of illicit substances. It's going to be full of teenagers with their floppy disks exchanging pirated material. Someone will have Debbie Harry's latest album on cassette, and we'll be offering to run off copies for you and your mates. Right, okay, that's fine. Bung a couple of trees in there, you'll hide up the fact that the edge is a little bit scruffy, and or alternatively you can look at it from about here and go, look, oh, we're stuck in a bit of road there. Doesn't even slightly look scruffy because you scroll away from it quickly. Pro tips there. Alright, good. Have we? Does that mean we're job done here? No, it doesn't mean we're job done. You've got to re-upgrade all of these roads to be in-town streets rather than the idiocy that you put in. Okay, all right. Well, we'll do that. Those are in town. Why are some of the others not? Okay, all right. Maybe I did get it right. I didn't think I did. I thought I hosed that, but evidently, no. I mean, the fact that there's pavement, or for those who speak a different language, sidewalk, No, that would appear to be on the level. That would appear to be legit. Like MC Hammer. Although MC Hammer, as you well know, too legit. Right, there we go. Right, leave that a hell alone and get out of here. Okay, so that's it. I've done it. Job done. Beautiful. Right, bang some signals in, and we'll get this show on the road. And then we can turn our attention to what is sure to be a hellscape of a further operation when we look at how we do cross-country goods. There is a lot required. Excuse me, just doing that. Obviously, those of you who are regular to the channel will have seen that, will have felt the disturbance in the force leading to the application of the smoothing gun. Right, let's get across here. Do a bit of that. Yep. Good. Yeah, that's it. Lovely, beautiful, and keep it going. Now, I don't know how many signals I'm actually going to need down here. I think I'll probably run maybe 4 trains at the most to start with, because, you know, it's going from a standing start, and I don't want to throw money away. I know you find that hard to believe, but no, I don't. I genuinely don't throw it away. That's what happens when you put £1 billion worth of trains down the line. You might feel all so big and clever while doing it. There's some ugly pork barrels. Okay, we'll deal with those. But no, you're left with nothing but regret and do-overs. Right, bear with me for a sec. I'm going to get rid of these. I've no idea how many are here, because this was clearly after pork barreling just became a nonsense. So I'll keep a vague count, and then I'll buy the right number of the replacements. Right, hang on. I'd obviously been overzealous because there was 102 there. All right, I must have miscounted, but no matter. I'll pay back what I just took. Where's the old payback here? Right, hang on. Right, that's that cleaned up. I brought up the menu there just to make sure I wasn't underspending or overspending or what have you. But as you can see, our bank balance these days is pretty flipping healthy. Now, I mean, we've still had a bit of a bump up from sold vehicles. It did take those trains the best part of, I don't know, 25, 30 years to actually get sold. But we are now very much back in business. The profit is very much. You just use some different words, man. Anyway, lots profit, good times is what's occurring at the moment, and long may it continue. Anyway, stop digressing and get this route up, would you? Where did you leave your station? I left it here. Okay, right, let's bang this route in. So this is going to be Cross, Pleasant View, New York, or New York, Pleasant View. I haven't decided which way around I want to describe it yet. Right, Pleasant View, down to Caprica. There we go. Down to Arkham. There you go. I mean, this is a good length run, this one. Better still, it shouldn't cannibalise anything. Potentially, it will cannibalise some of the standard mainline commuter services out of New York and possibly Pleasant View, but you can't get from one to the other currently without changing train. So it shouldn't have too severe an effect. The only other thing I need to check here is whether, if one were coming from the depot, one could actually get out this far. Yes, you definitely can. Okay, right, and then going the other way. So back to Arkham, and then to Caprica. Now you've got one really good run here. I mean, this length here is going to be the speed test segment. This second run up to Pleasant View is not quite as long, so it's that first section there that's going to be the litmus test for the speed that we've got at our disposal. Let's just check on my naming convention. You know I care about such things. Right, Cross. Okay, fine. Okay, so Cross. I'm going to go NNY to Ples. All right. Now, didn't we change it to Ples? I think we did. Right, and we're going to go for the ICE, and I'm going to go for something that is in the region of, I'm thinking around 170-ish passengers that it's got as its capacity. So let's have a look and see what we've got in the showroom. They could upsell me just about anything at this stage, and it really shouldn't be taking this long to load the menu, given that I already loaded the menu once before I started recording in order to be prepared for this moment that I knew was coming. Right, here we go. I will take a quick spin via. Oh, hello, the Class 150. What are your key features here? 130 kilometers an hour. The 156, 120. They're just not quite fast enough. 160, however, this SNCF diesel, that would work. Someone mentioned it in the comments not so long ago, and I went, that's a very good point. We've got the talent. That could work. Not on this line. I'm thinking of other lines, but because I called up the What's It here, I thought I'd give it a quick look. Got this little shuttle number. That would work as well. All right, we might deploy a couple of those. I'm thinking for mainline routes because the speed we do on there, I think it's 140, maybe 160. So I don't want to drop below that. Some of this Euro business. It might even be a little bit faster than that. Hard to say for sure. I'm finding one of the. I've got distracted. All right. Where are we? Let's. What about this? 160. Yes, I'm definitely using some of those. Yeah, there we go. Right. Okay. I'll give it some thought. Yeah. Okay, top speed 320. Yep. We're definitely going to go for the ICE, which is 129 320 top speed. It won't hit the top speed, and therefore there's no sense in even trying to upgrade the track to make that possible. Maybe I will. We'll follow on along at any rate and see where it gets to. There you are. Have 4 of those. And you can all go cross New York Ples. I'm not gonna worry about spacing them out or timing or any of that kind of jazz. They will figure that out for themselves, especially since they'll be crossing onto a highly used line, and therefore we'll have to wait their turn to get out there in the first place. So there it is. I've run these before when I experimented. I didn't show this on video. Just take my word for it. I experimented with running super high speed stuff round the main line, and the upshot was I lost a lot of money. I think I have greater robustitude now for making cash from such an endeavour, so we might go to that again. That's a lot of train there for 130 passenger capacity. But I'm not going to complain. Long old trains. They look good when they're whistling through the landscape. Right, I'm going to leave those to their business. We'll do a ride-on at the end of the episode, all right? Someone was lamenting the fact that we would never ride it. And to that person I say, your wish is fulfilled. I am Mary Poppins and Tinkerbell, all at the same time. What's all this? We're here back in New York. You probably spotted that, but I pointed out anyway for civility's sake. What on earth? How? Why? You lunatics out here, why are you building out here? I ask the question simply because there is no road connection between where you are and town. You are literally random settlers who have no connection to the outside world whatsoever. What are you? You're all residential. Curious. That's what that is. But there it is. Right, now then, we need... the reason we're here is that we need a goods station. And I'm thinking that I might use this goods station as either a kick-off or a terminating point for that which will gather all of the goods that are in the middle of the map. Now, my original thinking for this was to use somewhere rather like here, which is the Gotham transfer, apparently, if you say so. purely because it was only receiving one goods type, and therefore, giving a bit more variety on that would be helpful. But then you've got the likes of the Hill Valley station here, and that's not exactly diverse in terms of the amount of cargo it's got going on. I was going to look for whichever freight station had the least business and use that as here it is this one. This has the least business. And it's also helpful because it's got 2 individual processing factories that it is connected to. 3, if you include that, and I think I'll probably replace that. Really, are you going all the way to... You're running all the way around here. So I could replace that with a train route before heading further afield. Now, maybe I don't do it just in one place. Maybe we do it in a couple. But for the first push, we will probably go from here, winding a little, or branching maybe, but heading in a straight push up this way towards the station that we plumbed in ages ago, up here. And then we can go get the whatchamacallit. In fact, we've got to go further still. We'd probably curve all the way around as far as this farm, despite the fact that I could probably just wang that over there, and everybody would be very happy indeed. But no, we're gonna pull it all back this way. So some kind of dedicated goods multi-route coming out of Minas Tirith. We're not going to get to that today. That's not a thing we're going to do. But what we are going to do is add New York's goods station while we wait for the ICE to bed in. Now, there's several different ways of skinning this particular cat. And I think it's going to be another T job. So we'd plumb in our freight station down the side here, and then reconnect. I don't know, we'd have to go through the mountain maybe, and then reconnect right about here. Yes. Yeah, I mean, the good news is that we've got the Freightliner on the right side, so that in itself isn't going to be too difficult. Yeah, is that what you want to do? I give it due pause for thought. The other alternative, we've got a nice bit of flat land here that buys us access to this stone, if nothing else, that gets us onto the excitement line there, which leads to a potential end-to-end goods delivery service there. I like that more. Although that said, if you were to put it here, that's not any more complicated. But I think running this perpendicular to the main line is the way to go. All right, okay. I think we might be about to do this. Now then, which option fills you with more delight? Well, on a practical basis, the goods line is on the outside here, so coming out that way and then back out that way, that's easy peasy. Versus over here, where you would have to cycle under and then cycle back out, yes, but that would mean you could exit from one side when you're going to do this cross-country thing that you had in mind. All right, what's the chances of this being mayhem fueled? Oh, the chances are very high. All right, well, tell you what, let's get a station, and we'll try and plunk it in somewhere and see what we get. Now then, we need 2 platforms. No, let's say 4 platforms. Four platforms for the main line, and then another 1 for this cross country. So that would be 5 in total. Well, look at that, advanced mathematics. So that would be 5 in total. We'll take it to 5, 6. That's only 360. Do your sums. Let's take it to 480. That'll do it. Right. So you would be looking at something along these lines here. Now, obviously, terrain alignment's always going to be a lot of laughs for everybody involved. But that would be the angle to go for. Going there, so you've got some alignment to play with, but that's not so bad. And then down here, now this one feels like it might actually play ball a lot easier. It is playing ball a lot easier. All right, well, maybe we should do that then. Right, but then you're talking about getting under or over. Well, it's going to be over, isn't it? In order to get to the far bank. All right, it's going to be this way. All right, okay. Now then, if I make this well curly, how curly? Well curly. Okay, you and your language. Then we could probably, you've gone the wrong way, do that. We could, instead of making it a T, we could just make this a through flow, as it were. So trains coming in from the right hand of the screen as you look at it now into the station could just continue merrily out the far side. In fact, we want a little bit more curve even than that. So if we do a bit of that on there, and then spin this around, right round, baby, right round. Yes, rather like a record, baby. Thank you. There you go. I drop it in there for those who know. Go on. You were able to align the terrain. Don't make me straighten it out just to make life easier for myself. Then where would we be? Do you want to go anywhere around here? You know, I'm open to a little bit of compromise, but no, you're not going to play ball at all, are you? What if I gentled that up just a touch? No, you see what you've done, Governor, is you've put this ridiculous curve on the end of things. It's not that ridiculous, is it? Says you. It is well ridiculous there, Cochise. And as such, all right, what if I make it entirely ridiculous? It genuinely isn't that ridiculous, but you know, we explore just so that I don't have to play with flipping terrain aligning. No, that's not it. Okay, we'll go back to the one we want, which is about there. I'll spin this back round in the direction we want it. Come on. And about that. Right. So I need to do some terrain shaping in that bit of forest. So be it. Give me this. Ramp it up to that. Give it some of that. Do a bit of this. Wallop. Yeah. Do all of that. There you go. If we keep the brush moving quickly, then what we don't do is make an enormous gouge out of the planet that is very difficult to work with. We need to go a little bit further. By the look. Oh no, hold on, wait. Oh, wait. We might have it. We might just have it. Okay, we've got it. That'll do it. I was actually thinking of trying to move it a little bit closer there, but I guess you've decided that for me. Well, thanks. That's jolly decent, but it's a nice scenic, isn't it? Right. Okay. Now then, let's put. We're going to use town streets here, purely because it's close enough to town that I think we might be able to get a bit of growth out here if we're lucky. It really depends on how the town is assigned to grow. But as has been proven already, they don't seem to be backward in moving somewhere with no access to any form of amenity whatsoever. Right. I'm only doing this because I didn't want a tunnel. I could have just said, don't give me a tunnel, and then smoothed it afterwards. You know, that would have been a smart thing to do. But never let it be said that I will do the smart thing first time. No, wrong thing. See, more often than not, I would do the dopey thing first time and then correct it with the smoothing brush afterwards. Right. Now, the citizenry of New York at this moment are kind of going like, we've arrived. Finally, we are being recognized as important to the progress of this universe, because they're not only giving us goods, they're also giving us the other thing, really high-speed trains. We have arrived, aren't we terrific? Right, now then, where's the best branching point for this? Oh, we've just come up. Oh, okay, look, a couple episodes when I broke everything, it was all getting snarled up on this bit of single bridge. I did a lot of work to make this flipping happen again. And I've double-tracked the bridge. Now, the reason that it went to single was because I couldn't double-track across the main line, which is what I needed to do. So I've ended up with this split swan-necking monstrosity, which, according to your own personal taste palette, is quite nice. Or a monstrosity. So I'll let you decide for yourselves. I mean, you're grown-ups. You can make that kind of decision. I trust you to make the right one. And it's glorious. Right? It's not a flipping monstrosity. Right, okay, there we go. Bit of that, and then one of these as well. Now, this was always designed so that these two freight-dedicated tracks were available for trains that needed to bypass the primary route in order to go and do their own thing. So some would need to drop off and others would not. Now, evidently, that has not transpired to be the case there. And I wonder how I'm going to make that work later on. Maybe I put like a couple of express freight services that stop off at specifically selected locales in order to shift things around. That could certainly work. Right, in and out. What have you got going on there? I've got a ruddy mess going on here, Chief. No. No, you're not allowed to have a ruddy mess going on. You want to keep that snapped for as long as you can. Also, remember you're going 2 ways and you're going to use 4 platforms. Oh, not demands. I'm just helping you to not make a really ugly section of track. Because otherwise, this would be some kind of complete mangled bridge hideousness that looks like one of those experiments that were done on Ripley in that there Alien 4. Yeah, it wasn't the best Alien movie, was it? No, it just wasn't the best Alien movie. So if they're all coming out this way, they're all going to want to come out on that track. And then coming in this way, they're going to want to hit these two, because I'm trying to do up, up, down, downs now as much as possible. So you'd probably do that. Would you? Is that what you would choose to do, is it? All right, yeah. I mean, why are you being so facetious today? Well, you've got it coming. All right, it's fine. It's a station approach. We'll allow it to slow down. Yeah, is that just because you can't be bothered rebuilding this bridge? That might be among the reasons. But there you go. You end up with something like that. That's perfectly functional. That'll work. Actually, it doesn't look too bad from as far. It doesn't look so bad from here. There we go. Right, now then, we now have... How many of these need to go out that way? All of it. Okay, well, you're up, up, down, downing, down, down, downing again. And then, obviously, this tail end track here is going to be the service that runs out that way. I might have left that too far. It might have served a better purpose coming in the opposite direction, but we'll see how it gets on. Honestly, I mean, it might work, it might not. So I think the smart play here is to run ourselves off. In fact, is to pause and then bulldoze this. We're only bulldozing the freight bit. Don't worry, I haven't completely lost my marbles. I'm having to defend my my marble retention. On an increasingly common basis at the moment. I recognise that, and that maybe some of you are worried that I have lost, if not some of, quite a lot of the plot. But I haven't. I'm still on the plot. The plot's fine. It's in safe hands where I'm involved. Right, upwards. Yeah, and then what are you thinking? Branching off. Yeah, I think I probably am thinking branching off. So we'll go with a viaduct, because I think that will branch slightly happier. And then where are you actually aiming for? You're aiming for underneath these big old mountains here. Okay. All right. Well, that's doable. You've probably bent more than you need to. The other option, of course, is to do it from inside a tunnel. But I like to keep my junctioning visible for the inevitable moment where the game informs me that something I have done has broken everything. And that there are currently a couple of trains having some kind of deeply heated conversation vis-a-vis who has the right of way. Right, okay, yeah, get as far as there. And then we're going to need to take a branch off here to get back under this tunnel. Now, I've left that a little bit late, maybe. Can you get round there? What if I were to start here? This is where we prove whether this bridge selection was wise. Oh, the bridge selection was wise. Oh, that's not bad at all. We've got a little bit of clippage there, but we might be able to fix that when we put the other side in. Might make it worse, of course. That's only one rail that's blocked. I mean, that'll just disappear over time with osmosis. That's good. Okay, that's a branch that works for me. And then we're just going to come round there. I do need to do some kind of merger of tracks. So we've got the downstream is those two, the upstream are those two, and that one's a terminator. So that's okay. This is going to have to be done in the tunnel, isn't it? All right. Well, what we will do is we will make this tunnel entrance nice and fat, rather than having like 6 or 7 tunnel entrances, because that never looks good. Hold on, do that again. You almost had it, but you didn't. So have another go at that. Terrain alignment collision. Well, if you were to turn it into a tunnel, I'd be willing to bet that it wouldn't be a terrain alignment anything anymore. After that, you'd just kind of, hold on, what are we doing here? What's going on here? Right, get rid of it. Have another go. Now, if we ease off to the left by, just the smallest of amounts, then it doesn't want a tunnel at all. Well, actually, that's a win. Not wanting a tunnel at all is beneficial to us at this stage. And then we'll curve that round there as well, so we are ready to tunnel. And then we'll curve that round as well, so that you junction off. We might need to work a little harder at that one. Go on, you're really close to doing what I want you to. Maybe if I go a little further up here. Don't go uphill. We don't need you to go uphill. You stay on the flat there, and I'm quite happy for you to gouge a massive chunk out of the landscape. That's perfectly acceptable. Right, try that. Too much slope. Really? I didn't realise there was any slope. Still too much slope. Who authorised you to put any slope on here? Well, if you back up in a sec and relay this, which is going to be what happens, then you will see for yourself, won't you? I rather suppose I will. Right, 42 is about the lowest we're able to go, and there's too much slope. Are we sloping the... We're sloping the track. All right, kill it. Yeah. We'll see that as the dry run. Now we'll do the wet run, and it's going to look a little like this. Don't slope. Stay on the flat. I think actually staying on the flat will probably help us when we get to the other end as well. So, there's 2 good reasons to do it. You whiz around here onto that. That's it. And you whiz off onto that. There we go. Lovely job. Can I go, really? Is that the way you want to do it? Would you not just do the 2 middle sections and then have the outer ones peeling on? No, I am the Engineer Deluxe. We're doing it my way. Your way's not necessarily the best way, though, right? Go on, get in there first time. First time, you say? Well, that's ambitious on your part. But look at the loveliness that you've got going on there. You've got bridge, bankment, bridge, tunnel, 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 come out the other end, profit. There you go, there's another little problem fixed. And I'm going to need to lay that in. I actually quite like that bit of windy road that serves no purpose. It's rather scenic, but don't worry, I'll do an approximation of what it was doing after I've got this doing that. Don't give me that. There flipping isn't a terrain alignment. Oh, well, maybe there is, to a very small degree. Give us this jazz, though. We might as well use my current favourite. Actually, what are you using over that? You're using red brick. We'll continue with the red brick then, which I think was that one. It looks about right. Still got the terrain alignment collision going on, so we'll repair that as well. In fact, if I were to do this now and then connect up to it, that possibly would lead to a better result all round. Right, something like that. Red brick, which is not that one. It's that one. Yeah? Yeah. Okay. Good. Now you have selected to do ever such a slight amount of upward hill there. I don't think that's what you wanted to do, is it? You double tracked knowing that you were likely to delete it. Yeah, okay, sorry, wasn't thinking cleanly. Right, give it another go, and this time, no upward. Right, Definitely not that much upward. Keep it on the flat. There we go. You got a bit of tunnel appearance there, which is what you want. And then there. Yes? Yes. Good. I'm glad we had this time to talk. Alright, that's grand. And then snap that onto there. And then off we jolly well go. There will be no further arguments permitted. Oh, this is going to be ugly. No, wait for it. 23 million quid on a tunnel. And what a tunnel it is. Lovely. Now this one's going to go through without mentioning terrain alignment collision or too much curve or too much slope or no, you're not allowed to do that because it likes me and it really has a good feel for what it is I'm trying to accomplish. Where's the end of the end of the bit there? There we are. That's it. Good. Come on. No. Whatever you're doing now, stop. It's okay, everybody. It's just autosave. Autosave has turned up. Hi, autosave. Nice to see you. You made me think that the game had decided that it hated me there for a moment. And the game does keep me on my toes from time to time. But this was not one of those times or times. Now then, let's bang in the bit of road that I just removed. Is that me? No, it's only small, isn't it? It can't possibly be small country road. All right. Well, you're wrong, because it is. All right. Okay. Keep going. Keep doing a bit of that. And then if we do that, yeah, there you go. More or less back as it was before. We've actually got an oil refinery here. Is that connected up to anything? Nope. It's going to need to be connected up to something. Yeah, I know, but we could do a really exciting tunnel road to go over to that end. We could, indeed. Indeed we could. Right, okay, that's that connected up, which is super. Now, we just need to put in a... I'm going to stick in the standard kind of temporary truck station here, just so that it's in place. And we're going to do ourselves a bit of harm, profit-wise, by running the mainline goods out here immediately, because there's nothing for it to pick up at the moment, and I'm not going to set it up now. So you're going from New York Annex... New York Annex, and then show me your wares here. So we're really looking at one bit that covers kind of this whole area, and then a second drop off that covers over that side a little bit. Okay, yeah, well we can do that. So give me some surface truck stops, because I'm a dirty cheat these days. Truck unloading zone. What sort of coverage has that got? That's pretty strong. That's arguably better. You can make as many arguments as you like. It's not necessarily better, though. All right, we'll bang that one on there, and then we'll stick a second one, probably around here somewhere. That street there would cover quite a bit, although you've got quite a lot of residential covered there. So how about having it drop off on the bridge? Super. Right, so we're going to go from that one to this one. And that's the route that it's opted to take, which is good because it bypasses most of downtown, back to the beginning, and then over to that one. All right, good. I'm trying these ping-pong truck routes at the moment. I don't think they're effective. I think I'd be better off running two separate routes. But what it does mean is that you don't end up with split cargo trying to be delivered. You simply have one cargo type. Or one cargo stop waiting to make delivery. Now, given that there's a depot, it's staring you in the face. Right, okay, delivery trucks. How many do we want? Enough, some, a brace of delivery trucks. You do everything under the sun, don't you? Let's just double check. Yeah, you do. We double-check by comparing to one that we know does everything under the sun. Fig, why not? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really? You can say 6, but you actually have to push the button to make it happen. And then we're going delivery New York, which needs a colon. All right, well, you know, that's within my skill set. There you are. Good. Right, now then, next job, let's get things rolling again. And then we will adjust the main lines, trains. In fact, if we zoom right in, that'll probably make life a little bit easier if we just do that. So if we just look at those, there's 4 lines in total: Spinwood, Widdershins, and Spinwood, yes. Any more? Is it Widdershins? And Widdershins. Interestingly, there's nothing there that requires the gondolas. So we can keep that bypass idea in place. I know I need to put some signals in. I'll do it in a moment. Right. Okay. So we got those two. So finalising our previous stop here at Alpha. It's not Alpha Complex to New York, surely. Flipping is. Okay. So where's Alco? Alpha Complex going to Mos Eisley, which is the other way. So after Gotham transfer, then you go to the new station. Right there. That's good. Let's make sure it's not doing anything baffling and weird. It's not. Okay. Are you doing anything baffling and weird there? Moderately. Okay. Well, it's only moderately, so that's allowable. And then just check the merge back on and make sure that once again baffling and weird is not in your lexicon. No, that's good. Right, and then the same in the opposite direction. So, well, pretty much before Gotham transfer. Hold on, wait, no, after Gotham transfer. Right, we do the same thing on the way back to civilization, and because you're a complete ruddy clown, you've chosen to go up the wrong platform, so the wrong track there. So you want platform 1, 2. No, hold on. 1, 2, 3. Not 3. 4. Let's go 4. And 4. Okay, we've got a connection problem here. Yes. You're coming this way. Just go straight. Just go straight down here. What's your problem? Have I missed a bit of track connect here somewhere? I don't think I have. Yeah, you must have. Otherwise, it wouldn't be fighting you on this. It would have sussed that. Unless I've done it in the wrong order. Gotham 2. No, you're coming from. Wait. Yeah, you've got the station in the wrong bit. Okay. So you were right the first time. No, wait. Hang on. I'm confused. Turquoise. Thank you. Is going that way. So after Alpha Complex. Yeah, because that's before Alpha Complex, despite the fact it's after it in the list. So after Alpha Complex, before Gotham. Oh, wow. Have I really confused my... I have genuinely kind of thrown myself... What? Huh? What am I doing? Ah! There we go. That's why it worked first time there, is because now you've got it correct. Let's hope we haven't spun around some of our goods trains in the process of making this movie. Right. Now then, let's bang in some signals, and then that should take off of its own volition momentarily. Also, let's get rid of the signals that are likely to cause trouble, like you. We've got another one nearby. Yeah. Right, that's all good. Stick one in. Actually, hold on. Wait for it. What do you want to do with that one? Well, that one's not helping anybody, is it? It was before, but it's not anymore. Yes, that's good. Thank you for telling me that you're a signal. Now tell me that you've been deleted. There you go. Right, have that. And then, about here. Let's go halfway across the bridge. And that way we've got enough room for nice big trains to do their nice big train thing. Sling that one in there. Yep. And then coming around the other side, we're going to sling one in here. Now, obviously, the gondola versions will eventually hit this way, because I fully expect that when we're importing stuff from the middle of the map, it's going to desire some onward travel. Whether that's copper or coal or slag or what have you. And therefore, having the gondolas actually stop out here as well is a good thing. But in the short term, it means that we do have some trains using the bypass, which is why the bypass was built in the first place. Or rather, well, actually, it's these external stations that are, strictly speaking, the bypass. Anyway, that's signalling done there. I might have missed some at the other connection end, but I think we're probably all right. Right, let's await our first glorious arrival. And we'll do that by pressing the Go Real Fast's Glorious Arrival button. And it will occur any time in the near to middling future, because there are trains on that track, and we just have to wait for one of them to arrive, which it surely will, in the time it takes me to give up on the idea and go and ride an ICE across the country instead. Because, you know, we've seen these trains before. It's your last chance. Go on, name in lights, face on the camera. There's a truck, look, that's something. No, alright, okay, find me an ICE. Bring me the next ICE into this station and we'll jump on board and ride it across the map. As if by magic. There's one now. Right, okay, good. That's coming on quite nicely. Are you ready loaded? You are, you're carrying 103. Talk to me of your finances. Pretty dire, Chief. Actually, not so bad. You were, what, 500,000 short last year. I mean, that's not dreadful, and I imagine every other year it will do well. Depends how long it takes to get from end to end, and how long it takes to get them to fill up. Now, I quite like these trees up there, which is why I'm now deleting just that one. We'll leave one there. Right, let's pile on here. We've got a full load. That's a good sign. Right, we are on our way to Arkham. Oh, we've not done a ride on for a little while. This should be an adventure, shouldn't it? Don't answer that. It's going to be an adventure. Right, you're going up the wrong side of the track. All right, mental note. Fix that. Oh, no, you're not. No, that's fine. You planned for this. You've got a signal there that blocks that junction. That shouldn't come as too much of a surprise to you. Why are we beeping? We shouldn't be beeping. Whoa, and there we go. Cut in half by a bit of landscape. Right, keep your eye on the speedo, people. That's going to prove to be entirely critical as we make our way out of New York and the surrounding area. Someone's left a crate up there, balanced precariously on the ledge, but that's okay. High adventure is where we live. Here's the green bridge that I think is wonderful and that most of you hate. That's okay. It's my map. I'll do what I like with it. And we're up to 120 now. So we haven't hit 100 miles per hour yet. That's 160 is what you're looking for there. It's 160 and change, fundamentally. But we're getting close. We're going to be getting closer to hitting an exciting top speed. Now, this isn't the fast section of the track. That comes after Arkham. Arkham to, I'm thinking Silica, but it's not Silica, it's Caprica. That's the quick bit. Or that's the bit with the most sustained high speed. But we're up to 185, 87, and we're slowing down again. Okay. Alright. Well, that's not much faster than the stuff we run on the main line at the moment, although I suspect that we have superior pulling power. Why are you queuing? You shouldn't have to wait for anybody to depart the premises. They're fellow ICE. You should be able to just go. But stop appears to be what it's up to instead. Right, here we go. Coming into Arkham about now. Super duper. There's another ICE. Well, evidently, the team are somewhat bunched up at present. One would hope that they would figure out how to spread themselves out a little more in the fullness of time. But we're in. Let's have a look and see what that's done money-wise. 1.52 million in. How many passengers are getting off? Out of 129, that was 49 left. Okay, well that's all right. How many of these things did I buy? Hold on, that's not an ICE, is it? No, it's not. That's the other cross-country. And it is an ICE. So when you said you hadn't used the ICE much at all, well, that lie's just coming home. You wronged all of us in that untruth. All of the Acela fans are now going. I mean, if you don't like it, just say you don't like it, and then then we'll be fine with that. We won't be upset in the slightest. But no, I genuinely thought I'd deleted all the ICEs I was running, but I didn't. Anyway, we're off to the races. Let's see what we do. Now, if we constantly pack out at 129 and then we've got additional passengers waiting regularly, I'm going to replace this anyway with something with a little bit more high capacity. With a little higher capacity. That's a better way to say it. Right, okay. Here's the end of the slow bit. Once we get round this corner. And then I'm hoping that Hans Joseph, my driver, is going to absolutely rinse it. Come on, Hans Joseph. I want 240 out of this. Otherwise, it wasn't worth the money. He goes, well, it's your track laying. That's the problem. I kind of go, what accent's that supposed to be? He hasn't got an answer for that. Right, okay, here we go. 130. Okay, yeah. Going slightly uphill. That's not going to help. Right, yeah, 140. I'm not really feeling the blistering speed attack on the great outdoors at the current moment, but it's going to happen. There's 160. That's 100 miles an hour. Keep it up, though. You know, I have great faith in your ability to get a wriggle on. 180. Yeah. I want 240 or better. Come on, that's 200. I mean, admittedly, going through this ruddy great tunnel while watching a number gradually increase is not the most riveting. There's 220. Is not the most riveting thing we could be doing with our time here, but we are doing it anyway, and therefore we're all going to celebrate that. Now, the good news here is that actually we've got a little way still to go. So 240 should be, there it is. 240's done. What can we get up to? I think we've got a corner coming up here. If not now, then soon. There's 250. We're not going to get much beyond this, surely. Where's the junction? The junction's still not in sight. Oh, this is going rather well. There's 260. Oh, absolutely thunderdoming it around here. There we go. We topped out about 265 there. Well, that's not bad. Okay, highly worthy of a proper high-speed train. Yeah, most definitely worth the investment price. That one. There's a bit of foliage on the line. Never mind. And that's a metric ton of passengers. Yeah, there's a lot of them there. We'll do a quick count up in a second. Right. And meanwhile, let's see what. Thanks for the camera angle there, Chief. Let's see what sort of cash we make out of that drop. 4.29 million. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Right. So that's made it 3.7 in profit for the year so far. That's much more like it. And presumably it's going to fill up again here. I'd be very surprised if it didn't. Yeah, 129. It's got another full load. How many have we actually got waiting? So 148 going to Pleasant View, which is the way this one's going, or 60 odd going the other way. All right, good times. We're going to need a little bit more capacity, I think. Either that, more capacity or more frequency, but you'll tend to get better bang for buck off capacity than frequency, because adding a few extra passengers doesn't increase your running costs enormously. Whereas adding an additional train, it does increase your running costs. Right, here we go across here. Why are we slowing? Come on. Have a heart. Put your foot down. Or your handle forward. Or your throttle to max Q. Whatever it is that you need to do that thing. Because that's what we're kind of looking for on this highest of high-speed routes. Right, I don't think we're not going to get anywhere close to 260 this time around. We'll probably hit somewhere around the 215-ish mark, I would have thought. If I remember the route well enough, because that's the goods line that you're looking at over on the right. So we actually haven't got far to go. I mean, pretty much the town should spring on us just after this tunnel. But no, there we go, getting up to 220. That's all right. And there's the slowdown. So, yeah, 220 we got up to, and here is the town springing on us. Grand. Okay, and we're still doing 180 coming around the final bend here into town. Just kind of go, signal's green. Yep, hammer through that at 100 miles an hour. Get in. and here we are hitting Pleasant View. And it was August when we were at Caprica. It's now October. Now, obviously, the passenger time, as someone I've pointed out in the last episode, I think, the passenger time is complete nonsense. But it is a timing measure. Flipping heck, 5.4 million from that one. That's pushing 8 million profit this year. Now, it's going to burn 2 months' worth, and a month looks like 500 and change. Well, no, actually, probably closer to 400 and change. 1,000, that is, 400,000 and change. So even with 2 months to go, if we didn't make any more money this year, we'd still be up by 6.5, 7 million. Boom shakalaka. That is very acceptable, especially since we only just started this service. Let's go and have a look at Arkham and see how many they've got waiting. Because this is, given it's the smallest town on the run, it's going to be the weak link. I'm hoping Caprica only just picked up. I'm hoping. Anyway, the run to New York is got 81 waiting, which is good. Yeah, all right. This is all jolly positive. Right, let's head back to New York to wrap things up. You've had an extended episode today, and you know, I don't blame you for enjoying that. You better be wagons there, son. You are. This is the gondola run, currently running empty. That bugs me a bit. Should never be running completely empty. Anyway, that'll do for today. I've been Colonel Failure. We're going to sit here and hope that a freight train turns up, because that's the only thing we're really missing from today's adventure. We've done a bit of everything else. Just a nice freight train arriving in the station at some point in the next, let's say, 70 seconds. I've been Colonel Failure. Thank you for watching. The freight route is what we're going to tackle next, and I'm really looking forward to it, because it's going to be lots of kind of short runs to the next mine or mill or factory or whatever it is, and there'll be a combination of trains and trucks kind of carrying that out. But I want to use lots of little train services, hopefully. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, if you've not subscribed to the series yet, please do so. It's a lot of fun to make, made all the more fun knowing that people are watching it. And subscribing is the best way to ensure that people know that the next one's coming up. Meanwhile, hit the like button if you've made it this far. Actually, you can if you want to. If you genuinely liked it, fling a like at it. But don't do it just because I asked you to. Do it because there's some genuine emotion going in under that steely exterior of yours. That gruff, rugged cowboy or cowgirl who wears their heart very much in their chest, nowhere near their sleeve. I'll catch up with you very soon. Thank you very much for watching. Cheerio. Good. Now, that's what I call Progress 2019. All your greatest hits, including the smoothing gun, including completing one passenger line, riding on board the ICE, and building a luxurious new freight station, and many, many more. There you go. That's the track list for today. But then you just watched it, so you knew that already. I'm quite happy with this new station at New York, because I think that it's going to lead to something interesting. The other thing that I subsequently noticed is there's at least 3 supply areas or factories that could be connected by ship to a docks at New York, and maybe something interesting comes out of it. Anyway, this is an interesting one, and I'm looking forward to developing it further, and you're going to want to stick around for that, so you're going to want to subscribe immediately. Yes, please. Thank you very much. Okay, bye.